done. Welcome to another episode of the podcast where we dive deep into the journey of the young professionals. Today I'm joined by Talha, a thriving real estate agent based in Dubai. Despite his young age, he has already built his solid client base and made bold career decisions, including leaving university to fully commit his passion for real estate. His story is all about taking risks, hard work, and defining the odds you won't want to miss. It's sure to inspire everyone looking for breakthrough in their own field. So let's get started. Hi Talha, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also great. So let's get started. Who is Talha? Before you answer my question, I need to mention one thing. Please think more, okay? Because we are not only human being, or we are not just the name. We are the person,
Yeah,
the soul, our soul, and we are more than person. I think because we are someone's child, someone's
yeah,
husband, wife, or we work somewhere, and we have our own characters, right? And
exactly.
who is Talha?
So basically, I'm, let's just say, a young entrepreneur trying my best to be successful. And other than that, I'm a son. I have a family. I have my siblings, like my brother and sister, and I've been in Dubai since 2010. So yeah, I've done university here. And other than that, to be honest, I don't know much how I can tell about myself, but character-wise, I would say that I'm I'm confident, but I'm also like a bit nervous in some situations. But yeah, that's mostly about it.
You said you are confident. You also work in real estate, right?
Yeah,
What do you think? Salesperson, is it important being confident or?
it's the most important thing. Like a client, if I've from my experience being in sales till now, I've seen that if the client does not like, especially in real estate, because real estate is one of the most high ticket sales you can do. You know, like a car, there's always a market cap of how much you can sell a car for. There's always a market cap how much you can sell a, like, let's say, electronical product or something like that, or courses or something like that. But with real estate, there is like, it's the most high ticket. I would say there are levels to it, you know. So basically, you have the lower level where there is yearly rentals, you know, monthly rentals you're doing, and then you're making a couple bucks off of it. And then you get into the process of sales, which is two different types of sales. One is primary, one is secondary. In simple words, secondary is selling real estate, which is already ready and built, and primary is selling something which is coming up in the future. So as far as for real estate, it's a commission-based job, as you know, most of it. So yeah, like you to answer your question, confidence is really important because the type of client you're dealing with in real estate is a high net worth individual, and if he does not seem like you have the confidence and like you're handling his investment, you're telling him to put money into something and he's gonna make money or more money off of it, especially in a dynamic market such as real estate. So yeah, confidence is the key, I think, in every sales factor.
But I have a question. Why you
Yeah,
chose real estate? I mean, high ticket product. I think you can go with low ticket, like just doing some sort of fun business, let's say, or
yeah,
drop shipping. Yeah, why that?
yeah.
Why that not?
To be honest, this is just something I've always been like growing up, like being a risk taker. So yeah, I definitely jumped into it straight away. And that's why it took me so long to, you know, understand it. And I did not have any prior, like not even sales experience. I did not have any prior job experience as well. So I jumped into it, but to be honest, I love it because real estate is the best sales I think you can do in the whole wide world. Like if you the satisfaction you get when a client is coming to you and they're buying their first home and you give them something, which they are looking for exactly, and then you see the happiness in their face, regardless of how much money you're making. So that is something also which I look at. And of course, there's ethical and non-ethical type sales, but yeah, I try to, just do what as my client wants, investment wise or for themselves. So it's also about networking and connection building. That's one of the main key points. I chose real estate sales because of the high net worth individuals you meet.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Because I think high ticket means like networking more, even
yeah,
though you make a few money, but you will
yeah,
build your networking, and networking
yeah,
is net worth, right?
exactly,
Yeah, and
exactly.
that makes sense. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
So, how did you start? How did you get into this business? Because I
yeah,
think in Dubai, and it's not like easy thing to
yeah,
start with, right? And you need to some sort of skill, let's say, or
yeah.
connection.
So basically, let's just move back a little bit. Before I went into real estate, I was always like, trying to do something online here and there. And I used to sometimes do freelancing, make some money off of that, and then also do crypto trading. And I was always into like, I always wanted to do something rather than just sitting and wasting my time. And that was the time when I was also going to university. But from the beginning, like I said, I did not want to go through that uni route, take my 4 years and then learn something which is not, to be honest, gonna help me make the amount of money I want to make. So I was like, I got the opportunity, I would say by luck, and I got it through networking in university while I was selling. So I was always already selling something. I was already selling tickets for an event of my university, and that's where I met a friend who then got me into real estate. But I was pretty young, and it was quite difficult to understand it in the beginning.
That makes sense. You mentioned you went to the university, so you are
Yeah,
uni student right now?
right now, no. I quit as like after I got into real estate. I did I was in foundation year basically. So I completed my foundation year, I passed, and then after that I was like, no, I'm not gonna continue. I'm going to, like I said, I've been a risk taker, so I took the risk. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go into real estate. And I'm lucky, to be honest, in this regards because my family supported me in this. And my father also started his business when he was pretty young. Uh, he was 20 years old in let's say 1990, something like that. But yeah, so he's also been like a inspiring person for me in my life. So yeah, I went up to him and I was like, this is what I want to do because I don't think like I would rather, get stuck, make it difficult for myself and, learn something which is going to be useful to me in 4 years rather than going to uni, taking that route, and which we all know in when most of the uni students are, out there, like living life, they're partying, they're doing all of that. I wasn't that much into that. I just wanted to spend my time, my 4 years building up my network.
Brilliant. But so you don't want to continue university?
I already left it. Since when I saw my first commission, I was like, yeah,
No, like even though you build street career, let's say after that,
yeah,
you want to continue it or like just for experiencing, not
yeah,
like a diploma. I mean,
yeah. Maybe I would like to like experience the life, but that is something like I would say below my priority of like, my work. So like let's say in about maybe when I'm 21, 22, and I've made myself established and I've settled something which is, sustainable for me. And then after that I would love to go there for the experience. And I have experienced it for 1 year. I have experienced a lot of it. But yeah, but I would definitely, I would see it really depends on the situation at the time.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah,
Yeah.
but do you think is it necessary university diploma?
It really depends. To be honest, I'm not against it and I'm not with it. See, it's a matter of a thing like what do you want as a person? Like if your like passion is to become a doctor and you want to help save lives and you want to do all of that and that is your passion, then yeah, you need to go to university. You need to get a doctor's degree and you need to go through all of that process. It's the same with being a lawyer. It's the same with being an engineer. But if your simple aim is to be successful and make money and build a successful business and be an entrepreneur, I don't think so. You need it. Like even if you see majority of the entrepreneurs, like one of our favorite, Iman Ghazi, he never went to university. So I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking about like a networking because students, I mean, to go to university, they also have like some of experience, and also they want to share. And university like kind of networking for me because I'm also a
Yeah,
university student, and
yeah,
there is also fun things. Honestly, I'm
yeah,
not I'm not like against university, but also I'm not agree with it because I don't like
exactly.
university system either.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not like with the system. I don't think you need it to be success. I think it's more of a system to make you work for the whole system in general, like get a job, work years and years and years to make up some money and then save it up to get a house and then a car. And then you would get into that credit line, like you either have a fixed salary, you get a credit card, you spend. So it's basically in my opinion, it's not a good system to follow
Yeah,
unless
that's
it's your passion. Like I said, unless it's your passion to be a doctor or lawyer, then yeah, you can go for it.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So, as you mentioned, you have siblings and your father and mother, and
yeah,
as you said, your father's reaction was so good when you quit the university.
yeah.
So, what do you think? Your father is it your big supporter?
Yeah, I would say that. And I'm very lucky, to be honest, to have that. Even my mother, my father, my elder sister, from them, like I've always gotten support and nothing else. So, and for my father, it's a thing of like, he also didn't like he did university and everything, and then he built up his business, and he did it for 35 years in our home country, Pakistan. So I lived here with my mother and I used to like rate our father used to come like let's say 2 3 times a year to Dubai because he couldn't come much more because of his work. But since Corona, it affected many businesses. So after that, like I went up to him and I was like, in this time I would really like to go for this option rather than like you spending more money on the university and then you paying all of that. Instead of that, I would rather not give you that stress, and I just want to work. I didn't even ask the company for any basic salary, so it was just commission based.
That makes sense,
Yeah,
actually. So you have lucky family. I think you're really lucky to having this kind of family and
yeah,
parents
and I'm
because
very grateful for it.
like in Middle Asia, and I think so many parents
Yeah,
really want that their children go to the university and having some degree
yeah.
because
Yeah, that is something I've always been grateful for, to be honest, and it's something I will always be grateful in the future as well, because they always push me, and even if like whenever I've failed, they've never told me like, oh, you're like this, we told you like do this, do that. Never, it's never been like that. They've always helped me and kept me going and even given me like positive, it's okay, you're young, you're like it's your time to fail and learn and then just progress.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Because my parents, actually my father, really wanted to me to go to university and
yeah,
having university degree, unfortunately, and this is why I'm there. I mean, in
yeah,
university, even though I will not work at 9 to 5 job.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was the
Yeah.
same for me. I would rather like, not see any results for a year, 2 years, and then maybe 3 years even, but I would still keep working. And I know that at the end of the day, when the results come, they're gonna be better than everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So I know uh, you have your Instagram and your YouTube channel as well. So
yeah,
you are using it for your career, for
yeah,
real estate and announcing the buildings.
yeah.
And how's that going? Where did you know that this idea came from?
Actually, this idea is something I had in my mind for a very long time. Like, even when I was young and I was going to school, like, I had two trips and I loved vlogging in them, even though I deleted them straight after 3 years because they were very cringy and I was very small. But yeah, I always had this passion for like social media presence and, building a social media personal brand on social media. So that was something I had, like, I wanted to do always. And when I got into real estate and in Dubai, because over here, the real estate market is very competitive now because Dubai's real estate is performing, I would say, the best in the world right now. If you look at the numbers and the amount of sales transactions which are happening in Dubai. So there's almost like I would say in every 10 people there would be at least one real estate agent here. So that's how competitive the real estate market is. So firstly, I needed to stand out from everyone else. That was something which I knew I needed to do. And then I had this idea in my mind that, what is something which would click? And I knew that, when I joined, let's say, when I joined Digital Launchpad and I saw Digital Dawn and how he spoke about, Mike Thurston spoke about building a personal brand and how important it is and how much, you can achieve from it. Like, basically, my plan was to, just start if like from what I have. And at that time, I had real estate, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna make videos on why I joined it, like my journey, start documenting my journey, and then because I think that's something people would like to see, like a journey of a 19-year-old real estate salesperson, like, trying competing against people who are double his age almost. So yeah, that I always wanted to do it. So yeah, that was just like the final push I needed. And after that, I was like, yeah, as like I got into it, I started making content. I got some ideas. I followed some people in the market and, giving insights about the market. So I want to attract my customers from social media rather than, going through the sales route of, let's say, cold calling, prospecting, and then you have cold emails, lead generation, and everything. So I want my leads to come and my clients to come from my social media, so they already know who I am before they approach me, which is very different to when you approach them.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
So the first thing you are doing is struggling with your competitions,
yeah,
and the second thing you are doing announcing yourself. So most of
yeah.
your clients, you think most of your clients came from your social media?
Not necessarily, not in the beginning. And even now, it's not that like serious because I never targeted getting leads in the beginning first because firstly in social media, I think if you try to sell people all the time, they don't like it. Like you need to build an audience. So that's where the idea of my videos came from, why I joined real estate at the age of 18, my journey. and videos related to university and such as that for people who are like me. So, I first wanted to establish an audience.
Yeah, I got you. Like you are documenting your life.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
That makes sense. So, do you do cold call?
Yeah,
How's that going? I'm really
it's
excited to hear it.
yeah, yeah, that's not something it's fun, but it's something I've gotten used to it.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard, and when you get the rejections, I think
Yeah,
it
yeah,
hurts.
yeah. To be honest, to this day, no matter how good you get, cold calling is something which is more of
Harsh
about
reality.
quantity. No, no, it's not. It's about like you will call 200 people. It's about how many, like the quantity of the calls. It's not about the quality much. So it's like as many people as you can reach in like one day, and you will get maybe like out of 200 calls, there will be, let's say, 40, 50 connected calls, and out of those, you will get maybe 5 to 6 leads. And out of those 6 leads, it will be one client who will come to you and close. So, but it's a necessary thing in sales. I think so. It's in all, if you check in, not in just in real estate sales, but also in other types of sales. I think cold calling, like for example, if you wanna do business with a company, with some companies, you have an idea, you have to approach them via cold calling or cold emails.
That makes sense. So, like, how did you find your clients? I mean, the number
Yeah,
of cold calls.
yeah. So
Did you
basically,
have
this is
any
something.
strategy?
Yeah, this is basically this is where the company comes in now. This is the where like when where I work, they I don't want to out everything, but yeah, they provide us with the numbers which we are
Clients, yeah.
supposed to call. Yeah, potential leads and potential buyers who have been in the market. So yeah, they give us those numbers, and then we it's our job to reach out to them, break their resistance if they're looking into the market, and then at the same time, you have 5 different agents calling them as well. So you have to stand out. Like they're receiving calls because if your company has like these numbers, it's like it's highly likely that 2, 3 more companies will have it as well.
I got you. So, how long it took to get your first client?
uh, and it like in monthly or yearly rental because I started off with small monthly rentals. So it took me, I would say, 2 months to close my first deal, but it wasn't much money. It was like 150 to $200. But it was at that time I felt very happy with it, to be honest.
No, it's like you get your first client. I think it's a big win
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
from
But it
beginning.
took, for the first client, it took the most amount of time. And even in between, I had some gaps where I was struggling with some, like, like I said, I was going between uni at that time and work and stuff like that. So it took me some time to get that first one. But after getting that first one, like, it took lesser time to get the second and then lesser to get the third. And of course, there are ups and downs in the market. For example, here in Dubai, in the summers, no one wants to stay here. No one wants to stay here because of how hot it is. So,
Yeah,
like, everyone's going on vacation. So, like, those 3 months, I would say, are the lowest volume and the longest, like, gap you can have. But after that, it's complete. Before that and after that, it's like crazy right now.
yeah. In the winter, I think it more. Yeah, more. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. In the winter, it's the best, and it's also because of how many people want to come to Dubai now, and it's also related to the issues happening in other countries, and they want to, like, for example, when this Ukraine thing happened, a lot of Ukrainians and Russian moved here, and so it's like Dubai is a constantly growing city right now, and they're building new infrastructure on top of new infrastructure, and they're coming up with new stuff. Like, for example, they've come up with the world's largest airport now, which will be ready in 2027. It's a $4 billion project. And then you have the Wayne Resorts coming in Ras Al Khaimah, which is also a $4 billion project. And other than that, there is many more stuff going like under the radar that many people might know about. But yeah, it's a constantly developing. I would say how fast, because they have launched, if you check the stats in quarter 1 of this year, they have launched a project, a real estate project in every 18 hours. Yeah, so that's how crazy it's getting.
Yes, and I saw one statistic, I think, uh,
Yeah,
compare it to the last year and this year
yeah,
and the last year. I mean, comparing to 2022 and
yeah,
comparing to 2023. 2023 was more luckiest moment in real estate, and most, like, I think it was grown to 30% in a year,
yeah,
in a single
almost.
year.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
I think it's because of the Dubai's like, safety place in so most safety place, and because of
yeah,
the wars, Ukraine war and like
yeah,
Lebanon and the Israel
yeah.
Palestine. So I think that most people, mostly and most wealthiest people, started to come
Move
to
to Dubai.
Dubai and buying real estate. I think, and also, as you said, there is some projects get started, and it's also
Yeah,
investment part.
yeah,
Uh, it's
there
like
is.
investment. It's like so good amount of money, and if it will
Exactly.
grow,
Yeah.
and
I
more
will
profit.
I will like tell you about the investment part. Like you said, it's absolutely right. Before, like you would see, I would say these three places, everyone who's been to Dubai or heard to Dubai knows about it. Downtown, where the Burj Khalifa is, you have the Palm Jumeirah, which is the famous, Palm Island, and then you have the JBR beach residences and everything like that. And now they've come up with another palm, Jabal Ali, which is double the size of Palm Jumeirah. And literally, I will, like, if you go and see the videos, it's millionaires and billionaires standing
Yeah,
in
I
lines,
saw it.
struggling to get a home over there, like for the price they're selling at, because they know if they invest 8 million dirhams into this property, like speaking in the UA currency, they will make it will go up to like 25, 30 million easily. The same thing happened in Palm Jumeirah a long time ago. So it's
Yeah,
like a constantly developing country, and now they've also want to double their population by 2030.
yeah, it's a good investment portfolio.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why a lot of
Exactly.
people and also developers from other countries now. Before it was like, the well-known developers, Imar, they made the Burj Khalifa, they made the downtown. The Mark's been here since for years, and other developers. But now developers from other countries are starting to come as well over here because they're seeing how the market is performing.
I think also competition will start more
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's why it's better to get ahead of it before it gets really crazy.
yeah, and also you are gaining more knowledge, and also when
Yeah,
people saw you in the social media, they might come to you in a 2 years maybe, because
yeah,
I want to go to the Dubai to buy the house. I know, facing with who. Like I want
yeah.
to buy a house from you.
Established a good connection.
Yeah,
Basically, let's just say.
we have like good connection, and I know you.
Yeah,
You are
yeah,
documenting your life, and you are not the person who become a real estate sales rep in a 1 day, but you are
yeah,
establishing
exactly.
yourself in years, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna
So
say.
this is pretty much it in this market. Like there's multiple amounts of agents, and the clients are going with the ones who they have a good connection and relationship with. It's more about emotional connection rather than what you're giving them. Because, for example, now I went from monthly rentals into yearly rentals, and then didn't go into second, like I went into secondary sales a bit, and then that's where like my I failed on some big deals, I would say, but that I didn't take it as a bad thing. I was like, okay, this has not happened. I learned from it and I move on. And then that's when I went into off-plan sales, which is now you're directly selling projects at launch. For example, the Palm Jabal Ali, it is going to launch in phases. So I'm working, we are connected with all the developers in the country. So we can sell all of the projects. We just need the buyers for that directly. And that's where you can make the most commission because the developer is paying you the commission rather than the client. And the developer, of course, pays you more than the client because you're selling the project for them.
I think the biggest decision that you made is getting into real estate business.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then from there onwards, it just
Yeah.
went how it is, and I went with the flow. But I'm happy that how far I've made it.
So, how many clients did you get till this day?
Till this day, I would say in total 20.
20 clients.
Yeah, yeah, 20. But in the beginning, like I said, most of them were monthly rentals, and when I was young and I was learning. So when I went into yearly rentals, where the commission is bigger because the contract is for a year, so it's fixed, like I would say 5% of the contract value. So yeah, those then became less consistent, but it was also more money. So, but yeah, mo- I
But
I've
I
made
think
20,
it does not
but
matter is it yearly or monthly because more your clients, more you get knowledge, more you get trust.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like, it's not just about the clients I've worked with, it's also about the people in my phone. Like, I have multiple landlords I've spoken to, I have multiple investors I've spoken to, I have like multiple buyers I've spoken to. Even if they haven't done anything with me till now, I know that their future prospects, and I will always be following up with them, and I'll always be finding new ones. So, like, I moved on from finding people who want to rent monthly, then finding people who want to rent yearly, to now people who want to invest into projects and buy at launch, get the property at launch where they're getting payment plans and they're getting the handover in 3 years. And Dubai is the thing about Dubai is what is attracting most of these millionaires and billionaires is firstly there's no tax on your gains over
Yeah.
here. There's absolutely zero tax. And then after that, the safety. And then you have like Dubai, I would say, is especially good for me because, as you know, I'm a Muslim and Dubai is a Muslim country. And but for the European people, it's also like they've set a good midpoint. Like, because they know that a lot of European nationalities are gonna come, and then we also have to keep our like basic that
Yeah, like
we're Muslim.
no alcohol policy.
No, alcohol is there's a lot of alcohol in Dubai.
Oh,
Yeah, like like alcohol is legal over here in let's say, but it's in indoors, which they have made in certain areas where there is more Europeans, and then the locals, they have their own separate place in Dubai.
I see. But
But I think they had to do it in order to grow, else they wouldn't have gone like they wouldn't have gotten much attraction from the European side.
I agree. So I have a trick question right now. Which one would you choose? Having client or having two investors number? I mean,
Two
uh,
investors,
two investors. Why?
yeah,
But they will
because
not. They will not buy anything from you.
no, yeah, it's about like if you're saying like two clients who are speaking with me, I would have like five, six clients who are speaking with me, or I would have two investors. Now with the investor, it's harder, but it's the thing of like if you like establish a connection with them once, then they're going to continue to buy from you, sell like they're going to buy, sell. They're in the market, they're flipping their property, they're making good profit and they're going out. So they if you like give them a good investment, then they're gonna come back to you. They're gonna say, okay, now we made profit on this. So basically, it goes into with investors, when you're dealing with investor, it goes into like managing portfolios because they're not buying one property, they're buying five, six, 10 even, or they have already bought previously. They want to sell those, buy new ones. So with investors, it's much more like, you get much more useful.
Yeah, makes sense. So, do you want to quit one day?
Yeah, I don't want to like do this full time, like not for the rest of my life. Like I want to make a good career out of it and I want to make good money out of it, which a lot of people, to be honest, in Dubai have done. Like real estate agents, they've made a lot of money and like they're like, I would say millionaire status. They've reached it by doing real estate sales. So I would love to, reach that level and then start something of my own.
I ask a question because of you're establishing your career, and
Yeah,
also, more you get clients, more you got cold
yeah.
calls, you are getting more wealthier people, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
as in the Digital Dawn program said,
Yeah,
uh, you are gaining more trust. And when you're done with real estate, and you
yeah,
decided one day to open your business, you can call to someone to asking investment. I think
exactly,
it is. I think
exactly.
it's also building your connection.
That's exactly why I like in the beginning I said like you said your network is your net worth, and in real estate you can meet very high individual people. Even like I would say Iman, I know that he has a couple of properties in Dubai as well himself. So it's like those are the like people you can get a chance to network with, like millionaires and billionaires who are coming to Dubai. So when in the future you want to make something of your own, you have much more opportunity. You have a much bigger network which you can work with, and you have, let's just say, vast amount of pathways you can take with that as well in the future. So it opens up more opportunities for you.
Would you choose working for free if you're a
Uh,
beginner?
yeah, I would have, not now. I would in the beginning I would have.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah. I I have had like landlords who needed help with some situations with the like tenants dealing with some stuff for maintenance, and I've helped them regardless if they haven't, like I haven't done a deal with them, but I've always like tried to help them out so they know like it's not about just because you have, like I said, you have to build a connection with them, so it's you can't just be there for the commission. You have to be there for the relationship and building the relationship. Once you've established that, the commission just follows.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What advices would you give for beginners
Beginners in real estate or beginners in like this
in real
journey?
estate? Of course, I think you are working in real estate, right? Not in a rental
No,
business.
to be honest, I would say like you need to be really confident. You need to be good at sales. Like you need to invest into yourself. Either you need to go through the process of doing any sales job for like let's say a year, a small sales job, so you get some experience on how to sell. Because to be honest, in the beginning, like for example, when I took this sales course as well in the digital launchpad, it like enhanced my knowledge a lot, and it helped me like gain like a lot of knowledge on how to properly sell to people, and that helped me speak better with my client. So invest in yourself first, and then like learn proper how to build how to do sales, and then also alongside that, what is very important in today's days, no matter your business, whatever you're doing, just document your journey and start building your personal brand. Because if you have a good personal brand in the future, it also opens up much more opportunities for you, and like it will increase the level of trust clients have on you. If like, if, for example, if you know, if there is 100,000 agents. Not all of them are building their personal brand, but if you're standing out from those 100,000 agents through this personal brand, then this is something, you have edge over the competition. This is, and
Yeah.
many people have also messaged me on my Instagram that they want to get into real estate, and I've always given them the reality of how it is. Like, I've never told them, yeah, get into it, you'll make quick money. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, you
no,
don't motivate them.
I always told them, okay, it's like this. Yeah, Dubai's market is performing well. There's this amount of competition, and this is what you have to do to stand out, and and you have to work hard. You have to work really hard. For me, I was lucky in the case that I had my family over here, and there's agents over here who are on their own, they're just grinding, so for me, I was lucky enough that I was living with my family, but there's people coming with no backup, nothing, just straight into it. So yeah, I would say I always tell people to have some backup. You never know how it goes. But it's something which is very tough, but if you get it right, then it's something that can make you really successful.
Yeah, it will pay off.
Yeah, exactly, it all pays off in the end.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you mentioned investing you. So do you read books?
Yeah, I'm currently reading Atomic Habits.
How it helps your career?
I think books are just there to like give you knowledge, and like the amount of like good knowledge there is on books, it's not on YouTube. Like, I think I'm not talking about like in terms of comparing it with course. Of course, like, to be honest, digital launchpad, the amount of knowledge, it's it's unbelievable what's on there for the amount. But yeah, books, I would say read books, invest into courses like digital launchpad or something which is related to your niche, or like invest in a mentor. And yeah, always have a mentor, regardless of whatever you're trying to do. So I think, and with reading books, I don't read a lot, but I've started getting into it, and I understand why reading books is important.
Once I read the book, the name of the book I cannot remember, but I think it was How to Sell People, because and the author was
I think I
the
know this book, but I can't think
person
of.
who sold most of the cars. It was in the record.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, and it was his book. And having a connection with your previous clients, he
yeah.
mentioned it. So, in the birthday or in some holidays, do you text your clients, your previous clients, even though they didn't buy anything, but you have their contact number
Yeah, I
to remind
always.
you?
Yeah, this, so like now, for example, with off plan, I always, like, for example, on my birthday, my clients who have worked with me wish me, and my the agents who I've worked with previously wish me and everything. So I've, like, the connections I already have, yeah, they're there. But for the clients who have not worked with me, I'm always keeping them up to date with the market, always sending them whatever is coming into the market before anyone else, because this way they know that, okay, this guy, he's constantly sending, even if they're not replying for months. Like, it's happened with me. One guy, he was not replying for months and months, but suddenly he was like, okay, yeah, I would like to buy, which is the sale which didn't go through, but it teached me a lot, to be honest. I had to, like, even when, because in real estate you have contracts, you know, like when you're going for through a sale, and if any of the party, let's say buyer or seller, breaches that contract, there's penalties for them. And so I had to do a whole settlement, and have had to act like a lawyer, which teached me a lot about, it gave me a lot of knowledge. So yeah, to be honest, it's really important to keep in touch with your old clients and also the ones who are like in some way either it's sending them market insights, market updates, new projects. You have to be constantly on their phone, on the number one spot when it comes to
Yeah.
like real estate.
In the connection, right?
Yeah,
That makes sense. So, if you one day would quit real estate, what
yeah.
business would you choose?
I would say I would go into something related to real estate, like acquiring properties myself and then, selling them off, flipping them, something like that in the beginning. And as well as I also want to, do what my father did, and he has a lot of experience with it. It's basically road development business in Pakistan. So that is something I also, want to do because at that point you're the developer. So you're the one who's making the roads, although it's like not like in Dubai, like buildings and etc. But it depends country to country, and I want to like improve on that, like improve that company and make it better than it is, and make it bring it outside of our home country and expand it. So those are the two ideas right now, and the third one would be like which I'm working on right now is building my personal brand. Like I don't want to just keep posting about real estate. I am starting to shift towards documenting my journey, and from there onwards, once I build a good audience, I would love to take that audience into YouTube and then start daily like vlogging my lifestyle and everything. But that's once I've achieved something in real estate and I can afford that lifestyle.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
makes
that's
sense.
that's the plan till now.
That makes sense, actually. So,
But I turned 20, so I think I have a couple years still.
oh, yes, of course.
But it's crazy because there's 16 years old who on YouTube or on online businesses who are doing amazing. So it's not like even that is something which humbles me a lot. It like doesn't make me exceed like, oh, I'm young. I like it. I have time. I can relax a bit. It's like, no, I need to constantly keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing.
Yeah, because yeah, and I also watch some sort of guys that
Yeah.
already started their business and their business
Yeah.
multi-million businesses, and I was really shocked, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm too old.
Yeah,
Even I am
exactly.
20 years old. Yo, don't rush,
Exactly.
please.
Exactly. They make us feel old. But even
Yeah,
though, like, yeah, but luckily in real estate, I don't have much competition, I would say, age-wise. Like, people actually admire, like, it's about how you present it to them. Like, for example, if an investor, you straight up go and tell them that, oh, you're 20 years old, they would be like, oh, he does not have much experience. They would find it hard to trust you. But if they see your social media presence and then they see like what you've been doing in the market and then you actually tell them your story, like how you started and everything, it's actually something they admire.
yeah.
So it's about how you present yourself to them. It really matters.
How many years took you to having more than 20 clients?
I would say 1.5 year almost.
1.5 year. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's not bad,
Yeah,
even
to
though
be
you're
honest,
20. And
yeah,
I think
and
you started when you were 18.
yeah. I like had turned 18 at the time.
How was the trust issue? I mean, your
In
clients'
the
trust
beginning, in the
issue in the
beginning,
beginning
they were
because
like,
you're 18 with
yeah, yeah,
with
yeah. In
how
the beginning,
how could you handle with them?
in the beginning, it's just that I would say I'm not an overly extroverted person, but I'm good with communicating with people. So like, I'm good with like I would say having a chat with them. Other than the work and tell them about myself. But in the beginning, they would like flip out when this used to see me, because I used to go and view the property to them physically, and they would be, how old are you? And I would sometimes even lie, like I would tell my age a year older, so they're like, oh, flipping hell, he's 18. So I
Yeah,
would be like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm 19. I've been learning about real estate since I was 16, even though I did not. But yeah, it's something I had to tell them in order to sell myself.
Yeah, like sometimes they might be underestimate you
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
your age, but
exactly.
that
Yeah.
does not matter.
It's you have to be smart with it, like like for example, if they say I don't tell them that I dropped out of uni, because then they would think, oh, that's a bit weird. And
It will be
especially
mind
the
blowing.
that generation is like people who are 30, 40, who have followed that system, who want their kids to follow that system. And if I go up and tell that to them, they'll be like, yeah, no, unless of course they know my full story. But yeah, I prefer just to say that, yeah, I'm doing this as I'm doing it with my uni. In the beginning, I used to say that. Now I just say that I'm 20, and they think, like, as I've progressed, of course, I used to look a lot younger when I was 18, and now I look a bit older. So now they don't question my age that much.
But I think it will be good story when you got like 30 and
Yeah,
like you will say, "Oh, I started when I was 18."
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I got my
That's the
first
goal.
client.
That's the goal. Apart for me, it's not just about the money and the lifestyle or all of that. Of course, that comes with it. For me, it's more about the legacy that I leave for my future generations.
Yeah.
So that's something which has always driven me and has always driven my dad, because he took us from, a small village to the city life, to moving us to Dubai, and working hard for 35 years. And I want to continue and build on that legacy, so that our future generations would, like, look up to us. So that is something which drives me a lot.
When you have something to proud.
Yeah, thank you. I know that sometimes I get lost in the moment, but yeah, I really look when I look back how far I've come. I really appreciate it. I thank God, of course, and I just want to keep pushing and improving.
What do you think about God? Because I know you're Muslim and you think because of God, you can make them, like you can make the clients, or just it's or because of luck. What do you think?
Mhm. I think it's all given by God to you, to be honest. I it's not like luck is there, yeah, but I think that is also something. Luck is just a word for saying, because I believe that what God has written for you will happen regardless. So yeah, I completely like, I'm a Muslim, so I believe in God, and I believe in Islam. And other than that, I would say, like, yeah, I believe that everything is set out for you, and I believe that if I am seeing these visions and I'm on this path, it's because God has put me on it for some reason.
Yeah, definitely.
And my mom is a huge, uh, like, she's very Muslim oriented, so she is always teaching me about that and always keeping me in check with my this type of stuff. But yeah, I don't like speaking about it much, but it's because everyone has their own, faith. But I like for I believe in the God and everything such as that. So yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
I have some questions before we finish.
yeah. Go ahead.
First question is, do you compare yourself with others when you see they are doing better than you?
I have done in the past. I have done in the past. I wouldn't say I have never done it, but as I progressed in my journey and as I grew older, I started to understand that it has nothing to do with me, and everyone has their own path, and everyone has their own, like, life strengths. They have weaknesses and strengths. So, for example, my strength at the time was I got the opportunity for real estate. A lot of young people, when they see me on social media, they want to just straight jump into real estate, but I just always, tell them the reality that you need to look at your situation first, assess your situation, and then I give them the facts, and then I tell them if this is how it is, if you really want to get into it. So, yeah,
Next question is, you thought you will regret one day, and what is this?
what I would regret would be giving up. When I thought I would regret, like, I felt at times when I feel like giving up, and just going on and doing something else. But I always, kept I looked up at my father, and I looked up like people like Iman, and who never gave up, and who kept pushing and pushing, and they got the result at the end. So like something I would really really regret, like what I thought back in the day, was like if I gave up and just left it at there. So yeah, that's the only thing. Other than that, I would say I don't have many regrets.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think? How much you are passionate about real estate?
A lot. A lot. As you can tell, a lot. Real estate is a great, great, great business, to be honest. It's one of the best businesses, I believe, in the world. But that really depends on the country. Like if you look at US right now, the inflation, the
Yeah,
mortgages and everything, how it's like becoming, very difficult over there. Same goes in the UK and some of the European countries. That's why people are now starting to move their investments. They want to sell off over there and they want to buy over here. So it's really about, which market you're in. Like for example, in Pakistan, I would never, like if I was in Pakistan, I would have never done real estate. It's not something like I would do. But in Dubai, it's something I love because it's not just about the real estate, it's about the city as well. I've lived here since, 2010. I love the city. I love how it's, made, and how everyone like feels it's completely safe, and they're giving you, like, you have a huge amount of opportunity. So the projects that are coming up in the market, like the future projects which will be, standing out in the world, I would like love to be, when they do get done and they do get finished, I would love to sit there and, look back that I was some part of this, like this
makes sense.
transformation of this amazing city.
And the last one, let's say,
Yeah.
if there is a people who wants some sort of job, would you motivate them with working on the high ticket product like yours?
I would say if you have the ease of, like, financial, a little bit of financial ease, and you're like, it depends on your situation. Like, for example, if, like, I would say jumping into high ticket, like I said, for me, I was lucky that, I had a home over here, I had my family here. I did not have to struggle every day to make like
Yeah,
ends meet, to eat
you
food,
didn't
to
have
eat
to
food.
make
Yeah,
money to feed your family, right?
yeah, exactly. I didn't have that liability, and a lot of people have that liability on them. So I was lucky that this is something which I am proud of myself, because this is something that I had because I started young. And rather than, I've seen people join my company who are coming from their home country, and they have no backup, and they're just on their own, and they've done the university degree, and now they're joining the same job which I am doing, and without a degree or anything like that. So yeah, that is something which makes me proud. But yeah, I would say, like, it's better to get some, if you don't have any sales experience, it's better to get some in low ticket, because in low ticket the processes are very fast, like you're getting more volume, more number of sales compared to, like, for example, I tried to do one sale, but it did not go through. Now I'm working on my like biggest deal yet. Inshallah, hopefully it works out, but I'm pushing for it. I would say like it really depends on your situation, and how. But I would recommend that if you don't have any prior sales experience, go for low ticket first.
Tricky question.
Yeah.
Which criteria you care most when you are choosing client? Like he has to be investor or wealthy person or like a six pack monthly
No, no,
income.
no, no. No, I don't look for any
But
criteria,
but
but
I
yes,
don't think
certain
so.
there is a certain criteria for, like, for example, if you're seeing an old man wearing a Richard Mill in
Rolex.
Dubai, the Rolex, Richard Mill. Yeah, I have done in the previous, and I would approach them physically at the spot, and I would introduce myself, and I would just give out my business card to them, just to, like, to give. But yeah, criteria wise, it really matters if the client is really serious, if he's not going to waste your time. Like, for example, you do all the work for them, and at the end they go and it has happened with me, by the way. They go and then they go and sign with another agent who they know from years back. So yeah, they do, like, they get all the information from you and everything from you. So it's really, to be honest, it's a harsh market, but yeah, it's something that builds up a lot of confidence in you, and it really teaches you a lot of things. But criteria wise, there's no as such specific criteria. I look just at the requirement of the client. For example, if they're a first time home buyer, I would give them something different to I would give an investor. For them, their location matters, where their kids are going, where to school, how much is the distance from there. Whereas the investor, I would just tell him go for the low ticket studio apartment rather than going for a villa or a townhouse, you know
Yeah.
because he can flip that easier. So it's about their requirement rather than the criteria. But of
So
course, if I see a guy wearing a Richard Mille, I see that, yeah, this guy he looks like a high net
potential
worth
to buy it.
individual. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, potential. I would approach them.
But one question came to my mind when you said client, funny
Yeah,
moment. I think the salesperson have like kind of skill. They will
yeah,
know in advance the buyer will buy or not. Is it happened before with you? Like even though you know that person will not buy any
yeah.
property, but were you with them like in a good matter or you didn't care about them much?
No, no, it's like I would know from the beginning, like because there's certain ways to qualify your client, There, like in my company, they says there's the five whys, why they're buying the property, when is their timeline, like what is their timeline look like? Are they ready to buy? Are they looking to buy in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? And what is their, like, amount that they're going to invest, and which areas they want. So these are like ways you qualify the client. And if, like, a client seems to be unsure, like, about any of this stuff, then that means he's just thinking about it right now. So at that point, your job is to just keep in touch with them, keep following up with them. But it rarely happens that they, then buy from you. But whereas if a person is telling you every single thing, when they want to buy, why, and everything, and they're ready to meet you. So the first step is, getting them on call, the right in off-plan sales. Like, I would say before, in like, as I said, monthly rentals and yearly rentals, you just made an advertisement for the property, and then you started getting calls like, yeah, I want to view the property, I want to rent it. But in off-plan sales, you're doing the cold calling, you're doing the prospecting, you're getting the leads, you're contacting the leads, and you're following up with the clients, because these are buyers. Either they're buying for themselves, or either they're buying for the purpose of investment. So it's just a different ball game completely. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't have any question for you for now,
Yeah,
but I hope we'll meet, inshallah, soon
yeah, definitely,
in my next
definitely.
podcast, inshallah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't wish you luck because you have already, like, I mean, you have already Allah in your
yeah.
way,
Alhamdulillah.
mashallah. And honestly, I got so many things about real estate and
Yeah,
about like high tech product because it's so
yeah,
risky at the same time, even though it has like high potential to make money, more
yeah,
money.
exactly.
Yeah, and thank you so much being my guest.
And on the next podcast, I will hit you up once I've closed that big deal, and then I will tell you all about how I did that. But
Yeah,
inshallah,
I saw your the last contract. I
yeah,
congr- I wanted to congratulate you, but yeah, I was too late.
yeah,
So
and then don't worry about it. Yeah, it was just before my
yeah,
birthday. It was a yearly rental. Because it's in the beginning of September. I joined the the off-plan sales and the high ticket sales, switching
yeah,
from rentals and stuff like that. So I was working on the big deal. I couldn't get it last month, but I'm pushing again this month. So yeah, but I did manage to close one yearly rental for $500 before
that
my
was
birthday.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah. So for no, thank yeah for you. Thank you so much for like inviting me on this podcast, and to everyone who's listening and watching. I hope that they subscribe to your channel and they like this video, and of course they comment the video and they support you as well. So yeah, I would end it at
thank
that.
you.
Thank you.